Welcome to module number 11, which is about automating your architecture, and it's a knowledge check. We'll go through the right answers and their justifications, and we'll try to explain the wrong answers as well. So first question states that which are reasons to use automation to provision the resources, and the right answers are alignment with the reliability and design principle and lack of version control with manual process. Automation helps you maintain reliability in your infrastructure. When your deployments are automated, they happen consistently, predictably, and without human error. Exactly what the reliability design principle is all about. Also, when you rely on manual processes, you lose version control. Automation keeps everything on track through templates or code, so you always know what version of your infrastructure is running. Now, if you'll see the option of greater expense with manual process, cost isn't the main driver here. Automation is more about reliability and repeatability than saving money directly. Then we'll read the second option, which says automation requirements for creating some resources. Automation isn't mandatory to create AWS resources. It's just best practice. And we are not selecting automation requirements for high availability also, because high availability comes from architectural design, not from automation itself. Question number 2 states that which are benefits of using infrastructure as a code over manual process. So there are two answers in this one: propagate updates from a single environment to all environments, and to deploy environments with configuration consistency. Now, infrastructure as a code lets you replicate your entire environment easily, make a change once in your code, and the same update can be pushed to development, test, and production, ensuring consistency everywhere. It also ensures configuration consistency, meaning all environments look and behave the same way. Now let's see the other options over here. First of all, they're saying protect environment from deletion. That's the wrong answer, because infrastructure as a code can recreate environments, but it doesn't automatically protect them from deletion. Then automate the system-wide security scans. That's also wrong, because that's handled by security tools, not IAC, and manage all account users. User management happens in IAM, not through IAC. Third question states that a cloud architect wants to quickly set up a secure implementation of Amazon FSx for Windows file server that follows AWS best practices. Which solution should they use? So the right answer is Quick Start. AWS Quick Start is a pre-built automated deployment that follows AWS best practices. It's the fastest way to spin up something like an FSx for Windows file server securely and correctly without starting from scratch. Now, if we'll explore the option of CloudFormation Designer, it's not the right option, since it's a tool to design templates, not to deploy a full architecture quickly. And then we are not going for cloud formation template that was downloaded from the internet, since it might not follow AWS best practices or to be secure. And we are not going for AMI on AWS Marketplace, because that's just a virtual server image, not a full deployment or solution. Question number 4 says, what is Amazon QDevelop? It's an artificial intelligence AI powered coding companion. So Amazon QDevelop is your AI powered assistant that helps you write, test, and debug code faster. Think of it as a smart pair programmer which would understand AWS services and help you code more efficiently. Now, if we'll go for integrated development environment, that's wrong answer, because QDeveloper works inside an IDE. It's not one on itself. Then we cannot go for template for rapid application deployment. That's what AWS Quick Start and CloudFormation do. And a set of automated references architectures is also not a right option, because again, it describes quick starts, not QDeveloper. Now question number 5 says that which are reasons to use Amazon Q developer? So two answers are enhance application security and to accelerate coding tasks. So Amazon Q developer speeds up the coding by suggesting lines of code, generating functions, and even identifying potential security issues. It helps developers to write cleaner and more secure code in a faster way. Now, the other options were to share open source code. Q developer doesn't host or share code. We cannot select automate for high availability since that's about infrastructure design, not coding. And then we cannot use write compliance tests also since it may help suggest code, but compliance testing is separate. Question number 6 is, what is AWS CloudFormation? So it's an AWS service that you can use to create, model, and manage AWS resources. AWS CloudFormation lets you define your entire cloud environment in code, creating, updating, and managing AWS resources consistently and automatically. Now read the other options. For example, a description of best practice for designing AWS implementation. That's wrong because that's documentation, not CloudFormation. And a template that describes your infrastructure. Templates are used by CloudFormation, but CloudFormation is the actual service and a package of all the information that is needed to launch an Amazon EC2 instance that describes an AMI, not CloudFormation. Question number 7 says that what is AWS CloudFormation Designer? It's a graphical design interface for creating AWS CloudFormation templates. So CloudFormation Designer provides drag and drop visual interface to build templates. It's great for people who prefer visual design over writing the JSON scripts or YAML manually. If you'll see the other options as a collection of reusable templates, it's wrong because that would be the AWS Quick Start or sampling template library. If we'll use the tool for automating deployment, that's Designer helps create templates, but CloudFormation handles deployments. And we are not selecting a source code repository for AWS CloudFormation template since that would be something like GitHub or code commit, not a designer. Question number 8 is, which option can be used to accomplish deployment specific differences in AWS CloudFormation template? It's use conditions. In CloudFormation, conditions let you define logic to include or skip certain resources depending on deployment parameters. It's perfect when you need small variations in different environments. And if you'll see the other options like drift detection, it cannot be the right answer since it checks for manual changes, not deployment differences. And we are not using CloudFormation Designer because it helps create templates, not define conditions or logics. And use change sets cannot be there since change sets preview modifications, but they don't manage environment specific logic. Question number 9 is, which option is a good way to preview changes before implementing them in CloudFormation Designer? So the right answer is create a change set. A change set gives you a preview of what changes CloudFormation will make before they actually happen. It's a safe way to see the impact of your updates without risking your running environment. Now, we are not using run detect drift since that checks if manual changes were made after deployment, and we are not going for update stack since that actually applies to the changes. It's not a preview, and we are not even using visually inspect the template since you can look, but it doesn't show the actual impact like a change set does. The last question in module 11 says that which option is a good way to know which resources is an application environment where manually modified if the environment was created by running an AWS CloudFormation stack. So the right answer for this one is run drift detection on the stack. Drift detection tells you if someone manually changed resources outside of CloudFormation. It compares the actual live environment against what's defined in your stack template. Now, running a comparison in AWS CloudFormation Designer on the stack isn't the right option because Designer doesn't compare live stacks. It's just for creating templates. We are not using conditions on this stack since conditions control deployment logic, not modifications, and we are not selecting run a change set on stack since changes set shows planned updates, not manual modifications already made. So that was our module number 11 knowledge check. That's it for today.